A slump in seasonal summer jobs is forcing teens to look elsewhere to earn some extra money. Once a rite of passion, now a thing of the past. A new report from outplacement firm Challenger reveals we've seen the lowest level of hiring ever recorded.
From fast food to the front desk, many entry-level jobs the younger generations counted on are now getting harder to find. To talk more about their report on the decline of teen summer jobs is the Senior Vice President of Challenger, Andy Challenger. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I feel like every day here we talk about the job market changing, and it's changing for everyone, right? But teens especially looking for seasonal work. How did the numbers differ from, say, 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, back in the 80s when we hit a peak of teen employment, about 50 to 60% of teenagers found some sort of work during the summer. Today, teenagers, about 35% of them are finding summer jobs, which is a big generational decrease. There's lots of reasons for that. Part of it is fewer jobs available to them, but there's also a lot of reasons why teenagers are choosing not to work as much these days.
Right. Let's talk more about that part. There is a generational shift. A lot of kids just want to be content creators. There's also gig work and college-focused activities over just getting a traditional summer job. So I'm sure that's affecting the numbers. Is that included when you do a study like this in a summer job if a kid is like a content creator?
Yeah, content creator is not going to be counted as a traditional summer job, but teenagers they're not just lazy, right? That's, I think, what a lot of people can jump to. They're also doing things for really rational reasons. They're taking extra classes during the summer. They're doing advanced sports activities or doing philanthropy, volunteering, a lot of these type of resume building activities that teenagers today are incentivized to do for college applications and for their lives in general. So there's a lot of rational reasons teenagers are making that change as well.
I mean, sure, but I also, I look back, for me, I played sports, I volunteered, I did all those things, but I also, babasat at 12 to make money. At 14, I was a cashier at the grocery store. I wanted to make my own money and be independent. I also realized it taught me a lot of skills that I don't know that I would have had, things like communication, responsibility, independence. Do you worry that maybe they're missing out on those things?
Yeah, I think that's a rite of passage that is there for a reason. There are a lot of skills you get from those first jobs you have in your life. I think of customer service as one of those key skills. You're never going to get that at any point in your academic career, but at no point in your professional adult life are you going to be able to be rude to a buyer or a customer. And so those types of skills I do think are getting missed.
Absolutely. There's other contributing factors. We, of course, have to talk about AI if we're talking about the workforce. You have adults who are struggling to find jobs. How does that play into teens who are looking for jobs?
Yeah, I think AI comes into it a little bit. We're starting to see some of those entry-level jobs disappear due to AI. I think for teenagers specifically, a lot of the investment that fast food companies and convenience stores have made in robotic checkout, cashierless kiosks are areas where teenagers often found that extra summer work. And I think that's what's really affecting the supply of teenage jobs from a technology standpoint.
Which is interesting because I think that's why they're having backlash to so many of these things and wanting to return to the video store and doing all the analog stuff. For those still looking to land something this summer, do you have any tips to maybe have the teens stand out?
Yeah, I would say that a lot of jobs that teenagers can land in never get posted online. So talk to your parents, friends, go to physical stores. Yeah, you gotta do some networking early in your life. A lot of these jobs never get posted anywhere. So really getting yourself out there and asking in person, which is difficult to do, but is another valuable skill you can try to master this summer as a teenager, is really a way to set yourself apart.
I have to say, my stepson, he's about to be 12. He asked the diner behind our house if he could come work there at 14.
Oh, well,
so he's already working on it.
You're having a good impact on him. Andy, thank you so much for this information.
Thanks for having me.